If you're a founder, business owner, or investor, you can leave Australia, live overseas for years, and still be taxed as if you never left. And when this goes wrong, it's not a small mistake. We're talking serious, unexpected tax exposure, often years after you thought you'd already left. This is something we see more often than people realize. In most cases, it comes down to two traps: the drifter trap and the family trap. I'm Vina White, CEO of WellSafe. We work with business owners and investors structuring the exit from Australia properly so their position is not just hopeful but defensible. In this episode, I will walk you through the two most common traps we see in residency cases. The first is what I call the drifter trap. This is where someone leaves Australia but never properly establishes a base anywhere else. They move country to country, short stays, flexible living. It feels like freedom. But from a tax perspective, it creates a serious problem because if you never establish a genuine permanent place of abode outside Australia, Australia can remain your default residency. And here's the key point. The ATO doesn't need you to be living in Australia. They only need to show that you never properly anchored elsewhere. This is exactly where we see people unintentionally remain Australian tax residents and trigger significant tax exposure. We've seen clients in this exact position, living overseas for years, but still treated as Australian tax residents, which is why we tell clients travel is fine, but you need one place you can clearly and credibly call home, a lease, a residence, a pattern of living. Without that, your position becomes very difficult to defend. If that sounds like your situation, this is where structured planning becomes critical. The second trap is often even stronger, the family trap. If your spouse and children remain anchored in Australia, especially if children are in school, that becomes one of the most powerful signals in the entire residency analysis. This is one of the most heavily weighted factors we see in residency reviews because it tells a very simple story. You may be overseas, but your real life is still in Australia. And this is where many founders get caught. They assume they can relocate first and sort the rest out later. Sometimes that works, but often it weakens the position significantly. Now, families can absolutely transition in stages. There are structured ways to do this properly, but you need to understand that family location carries weight. And if you're building exit optionality, this is not something you leave to chance. If you recognize yourself in either of these scenarios, it doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you need to move from unstructured decisions to deliberate strategy. You need to ask, where is our genuine base going to be? How do we sequence family and schooling decisions? What objective evidence would actually support our position? Because residency is not about intention, it's about what you can prove, and this is why planning starts early, not when flights are already booked. Now, this is important. This is not for everyone. This is for business owners and investors who are serious about relocation in the next 12 to 36 months. Most people leave this too late, and that's where problems start. If that's you, and you want clarity on your position before making a costly mistake, you can apply for an exit optionality assessment using the link below. We only take on a limited number of clients each month. In episode 6, I will walk you through what most people miss: the proof pack, residency letters, documentation, and how you turn your position from something uncertain into something defensible. I'll see you in episode 6.